Be there.
Yeah, so apparently on YouTube, whenever you hit go live,
Uh-huh.
okay,
We're showing up on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, so whenever you hit go live on YouTube, if you don't already have, because you saved it previously.
Yeah.
So I had to select that specific thing that you
Oh.
did. Yeah, because it said select broadcast before you could stream or manage it. But it gave me the option to click the one that you had already saved. So sorry, we're a couple minutes late. We're trying to figure this YouTube stuff out. Yes, this thing is on. I see the chat on my OBS.
Nice.
Okay, there's no way to pop out chat on
Yes, there is
YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, there is.
Where? How?
Hit the little three
Pop
dots
out?
in the top right.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I do see it. Okay. I overlooked it, evidently.
Now I want to see if it shows. It does show up, right? When I open up my thing, it shows up as
live.
Let's see. Hello.
I'm gonna swap accounts. All right, guys, we're working out a couple of things. Okay. What do you mean you want to snuggle his? I got more hair. You, Jay.
Mine and AG's would be softer.
Boobies.
It'd be like putting
Look
your
at that.
face on a pillow.
Oh yeah, I got it. There's a live.
You like the rough stuff? It's going 1080, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Settings.
It's looking crisp.
You could use Tuna's and Skep's face to sand your wood. There,
Yeah,
Jay.
I've got mine set at 1080.
I would leave marks.
Yeah, y'all are like
no,
60 grits.
No, mine is actually really soft.
Oh. Healthy.
I got a baby face, man.
Cool.
So yes, first YouTube, guys.
Yeah. We managed to figure it out in like 7 minutes.
Yeah, literally 7 minutes. Because he was gonna like dual stream, and I was like, "No, I got you."
Okay.
Set up. But what I need everybody to do that's in the chat right now, go show some love to YouTube also. All right. I know that you might be on mobile, whatever it is. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. That's all I need you to do. That's it. And then come back.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's that
simple. Go do it.
Right now.
So easy.
We're not going to talk until it happens.
So
done in the chat when you're done.
I'll put the link in the chat.
I was just about to copy and paste it myself.
You can do it. You can do it if you want.
I don't know if this is like that's not.
Yes, Mama. We're doing it right now. Okay.
I think our YouTube is linked in our freaking Kick. It's linked in our Kick profile, I'm pretty sure.
There's Jay. Yeah. Let's go. I don't have alerts set up, so I'll have to fuck that.
It's all good. We could pay attention.
Yeah.
Where does it show where you get
I do not have I don't have a dashboard at all.
Oh.
Let's see.
I'm looking at the studio dashboard. You could just log in or go to it.
Yeah. We're trying this out.
So we were talking about it. Happy Veterans Day.
Oh, gentlemen.
Yeah. Shout out to all the vets out there.
Yes. We'll clear up what that means specifically here in a moment.
All of them.
Yes.
All
of them.
You don't know how to you hit the little heart button.
Yeah.
Don't you? Or a thumbs up or something like that?
Yeah, it's a thumbs up. That's all it is.
Where's that?
History.
It's literally like boom right there. It's right there at the bottom next to share. Somebody's like constantly hitting it. I love it.
That's you.
Oh, sitting there how do you give it the thumbs up?
It's right next to the share and subscribe button.
Fuck is that at?
Literally right
down at the bottom of the live stream.
Hey, he's on mobile. Don't talk to him.
Oh.
Hi,
because
Mom.
I'm logged in my account,
Yeah, he's logged into his own account.
so I can view about us.
Yeah.
No,
Thanks. Yeah, I have
I think a
nothing.
lot of
I need to
I
look
think
at
a lot of
Why?
yeah. Looks like it's going okay. It's going all right.
stats. Stats on here.
Yeah, I have my mobile for YouTube right now, and then you can go to analytics and see all that shit.
All right.
Oh, we didn't put
Wait,
out
no, that's
a
not the right ones.
tweet.
Oh, yep, I got it. I got it. It's already prepped. I just didn't do it.
Oh my
Tweet.
god.
It's tweeted. It's tweeted.
Okay.
Tweeted.
It's tweeted.
Tweedledee, tweedledee.
Both is tabbed. Oh, thank you, Cam. Thank you.
There it is.
Notifications. Okay, here we go.
Yep. Yeah, push it all. Push it all.
There we go.
Y'all are gonna see a lot of shit pop up on my screen because I'm swapping back and forth trying to figure shit out. Screen.
All good.
Thank you, Mystic.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Are we stable enough to where we can
I
get
don't know.
into
I don't know, Mystic. I have one question for you. Are you subscribed to us on YouTube?
Yeah.
Before we start this podcast, you gotta tell us that.
Did that link I put in the chat go to our YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think so. Because Mom's in there.
Let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna type it again.
Yes, it went to the
Yeah,
channel.
yes,
I
yeah.
had the live copied ready to paste, and I was like,
Oh,
oh
you
shit.
could put that in there too. Did? Okay, cool.
Yep. All right, Strafe. Are you subscribed? We're waiting on.
Oh, there's what it likes.
Oh my god.
Take it easy on me, feller.
Fucking noob.
When you talk away from your
Alright.
mic, it sounds like you're talking into like one of those old can phones.
Away.
Wait,
I'm
what?
talking way. It doesn't
Oh,
pick it up strong.
I
Yeah,
am screwed right now.
Okay. Okay.
YouTube chat is left the building.
I still got it
Uh-oh.
up.
We got it, man. We got it.
Oh no, I tried to do something and it like screwed up on me.
So I see this, and we kind of briefly touched on this before we went live, but we're talking about what the differences are between veterans and active. It's like Veterans Day, and then there's Armed Forces Day, and then there's Memorial Day.
Yeah, there's all
And then
the
what
things.
constitutes what veteran? Like who should be getting like, hey, thank you for your service on whatever day if you intend to do that. Just to clarify it. Not that you have to, because you don't. But.
So, my thoughts specifically, right? You are a veteran if you honorably served in the military. Okay,
Passed.
and it but it I didn't even get there yet. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
If you honorably served in the military, okay, or if you're active, I do think that there is a spot for active people, is so long as you are a productive member of society. Because let's be real, there are people that are active duty right now that are not serving.
They're serving
just-
themselves.
Exactly. That's what they're doing. They're like, oh, cool, I'm going to go to school and I'm not going to do my job that I get paid to do 24/7 and all the things, you know?
So you wouldn't consider them in that status?
I have seen so much dumb shit. Like, what irks my nerves, and I saw it yesterday,
Mhm.
and it just it stroked something that angered me. Is I know a guy that did maybe 4 months worth of work when he got to his first base. Maybe. if that. But it was a hellacious time for those 4 months for all of leadership. And he ended up like mental health, all the things, got out. He's 100% disabled.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
And he didn't do anything. Like I don't think you deserve to call yourself a veteran, honestly. Like that right there
How?
irks my fucking nerves.
Well, I guess the question is, how did they get to the VA side of disabled within that short amount of time?
Because he claimed the mental health route. Because the military is focusing so hard right now on mental health that like you could like if I go spend 72 hours in a nut hut and tell them whatever the fuck they want to hear, I am automatically getting 50% disability. Automatic. And that's
For what,
just for sitting there.
PTSD?
It doesn't matter. Anxiety, depression, any of them. Doesn't matter. I'm going to automatically get 50%. And
Well,
nothing ever hard happened to throw somebody into anxiety, depression, PTSD, all the things. Like what was so traumatic? Checking IDs, my career field, right? That made it to where you couldn't do, function in society. Your recruiter should have, not been worried about his quota at that point.
yeah, but how do you differentiate on like normally, in day-to-day life without knowing those details? A lot of people don't or can't differentiate,
Well, but I mean, if you get yelled at, right, in basic training, okay,
normal.
and you're not weeding out in basic
Yeah.
training, and you make it out to any of the services, all four, you make it out there, and then somebody questions you on a decision that you make at whatever job you're in, and you can't fucking handle it, because when you're out in the real operational side of the military, you're not always getting yelled at. You get yelled at more in basic training than you do in your actual job.
Oh yeah, that's few and far between, really.
Exactly. And if you're getting yelled at, it's probably deserved. I would
Well,
say
sometimes it's
8 times out of 10,
yeah.
it's deserved.
Sometimes it's not yelling at. Sometimes you have to use a certain volume in your voice because of what's going on around you.
Yes. And
people mistake that for yelling when it's just clear and concise communication. That's all it is.
But because of the emphasis right now on mental health,
yeah,
it's such a huge thing that we as leaders can't do anything about it. And I know from your perspective, you can differentiate between somebody that is gaming the system and actually has an issue.
It's really hard to do that. It's very hard because
I've been able to find it fairly easy.
Yeah. Well, at the level where it matters, like where you can actually do something about it, you can't. There has to be like an investigation, legal. Like you can't just go, oh, he's just fucking a sick bay commando. You know what I mean? You can't just do it. You can have that assumption in your mind, and then you can start picking up on little cues. And then that's when you got to start talking to the right people who actually can do something about it in that, investigator, medical doc, that kind of thing.
Legally. You know what I'm saying? But
I can go, yeah, this person's a fucking med bay commando,
But how often are your assumptions right?
I'm pretty careful, so pretty much I'm probably 100% at least at this point because I haven't been wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Far. Like you're when you see it and you see the cues of that person, psychologically and how they are, in the day-to-day operation, the way that they speak. Because what'll happen is when they're in front of you, in front of a leadership role, they're like, poor me. But then when you see them out and about, when they don't see you, they're happy go fucking lucky. They're gaming the system. So you pick up on all of the things, and like I'm about 100 out of 100 so far on the ones where I'm like, that motherfucker's getting kicked out.
I'm careful though with that assumption. You know.
Yeah, and now, mind you, when I say kicked out, I don't mean like we're just giving them fucking boot. They're gonna get medically
Mm.
discharged. They're not just gonna get kicked out for doing something very bad, but they are not going
Yeah.
to make it more than a year and a half in the military.
It depends. Sometimes that shit gets held up just because of legal stuff. It gets held up for so long, and everybody takes so long to like do the shit that they have to do. You know what I mean? Their part.
Yeah,
It
but
takes forever sometimes.
it will. But that's what I'm saying. But from the time that they're useless to the mission,
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
the time that they get out, I don't count that. So that's why I say that
Yeah.
that year and a half. That one dude I said 3 months. That was just a
Yeah.
that
That's
was
actually
like the
fast. I wouldn't.
that's but he got 100% because he
Yeah.
gamed the system. Because he claimed mental health this, mental health that, and like all the things. But yet
Mhm.
the dude had 2 Article 15s already in 3 months.
Yeah, that's a leadership issue there.
Yes.
I mean, in 3 months and you're on your second time around, it's probably time for an admin set.
Uh, I walked
You know.
into one of the jobs that I had, and we were under a CDI,
Mm.
and it was the CDI was against our commander, our chief, and our shirt.
That's pretty common shit, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm 3 months like at my station, and this is
Yeah.
the shit that's going on, and I'm like, this leadership is terrible.
There's sometimes it's just because someone picks up the phone and calls or goes online and makes the report, and it could be complete bullshit too. You know, there's a lot of them that get just tossed because they're just complete horse crap.
Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail on this one or whatever. Like, still being active, like guys, like yes, a couple of us are still active, right? But we don't affiliate, what we say in our opinions. Disclaimer,
Our own, yeah,
right? This is our own opinions. It's not anything about the military.
yeah.
It's just what we see, what we've dealt with over our tenure. And we've got maybe almost 45, 50 years in the military.
I don't know. I have 25. You're close to 20, so
yeah,
somewhere in there.
What do you got, AG?
What?
How many years in were you?
10.
Okay, so we're a little over what I was saying.
55.
But, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
But my 10 years is like 30 for you.
I've been deployed with you fuckers, so fuck off.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Can we make
Appreciate
mods and you? Oh shit! I fucked up.
Yeah, somehow.
I think you can make a
add as
mod in
moderator.
YouTube.
You did that? You're doing that? You're doing the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need to make all of us a mod,
Yeah, and mom.
and then mom and probably Jay.
But I'll figure out all the commands and I'll make them the exact same, Jay.
I have had very toxic leadership, and even all the way down to platoon sergeants and senior scouts. And I've been
Squad
yelled
leaders and everything.
like we've had. Oh yeah, but that's life in combat arms. We get yelled at all the time. It's constant.
Yeah.
We had a captain and a first sergeant actually get removed from duty on the spot by the squadron commander one night. They used to keep us after work constantly for no reason. We would literally just be sitting there while they're up in their office drinking.
Drinking.
They would drink coffee and whatever the hell in it.
Irish coffees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Irish coffees pretty much. But
there's some not
one
great
of the
leadership out there.
one of the wives got fed up, and she was actually friends with the squadron commander's wife, and got a hold of the squadron commander and
It
It
worked
was
for
like,
mom.
why is my husband sitting at work till 9 o'clock at night? We're not deploying right now. We're not, out in the field. Why is he sitting there till 9 o'clock at night? And squadron commander came down, instantly came to our building and removed them from duty on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Said,
there's
you
certain
are done.
powers, yeah, that you have. If you're fucking up, like,
it.
So the light bird called the full bird, and the full
yeah.
bird called the 1 star, and the 1 star said, "Send them to me. I'll take care of it."
So
And we never saw them again at all. Like literally never saw them again.
hmm
So what's crazy to me is whenever I was in Iraq and I saw an army dude, like he did some shit. Wasn't enough to get him really kicked out, but I watched the full bird come and just literally take his rank and velcro it off, put a new one on, and it was 2 grades lower. And he said, "Go to finance and get your pay fixed." And I was like, "What?" I was like,
he
"Army
was,
works
Well,
that way."
it
if
was,
you're an NCO, usually you can only go down 1 rank.
He was
well,
not an
If you
NCO.
are if you are E5, you'll go to an E1 or E4.
He was an
E6, you go to
E3.
E5. If you're an
so,
E4, he'll drop you all the way to E1 from E4.
Yeah, it was just
yeah.
2 ranks, but yeah.
So the difference there too is sometimes, I don't know if it's the same in the Army and the Air Force, but you can be promoted and wear the rank before you're actually paid. Did they do that in the
The Air
Air
Force
Force
does
and the
that too.
Army?
It's called frocking.
Frocking, yeah.
Yep.
So if you're frocked, you can come down. You can go down 2 grades in whatever badge, the symbol, like whatever your rank tab you're wearing. If
Yeah.
you're not paid yet, they can knock you down to like basically 2. So like if you're wearing it and you're not paid yet for it, you can go to the one before your last one. That's like technically taking you down a pay grade. You're just
If
not paid for the current one.
like for us it'd be promotable status, but you don't get to
Yeah.
wear it.
You
Yeah.
get that
Like
tuna?
nobody here gets to wear a higher rank before they're paid, or nobody in the
Okay.
army that I know of.
See, this is where
You
the
didn't.
mill.
You were like like say you were E4, you were specialist, but you were
Mhm.
promotable to E5. You're
Mhm.
just waiting on the point system or whatever it is. You were E4P, E4 promotable, but
Mhm.
you don't get the pay. You don't get to wear the rank. Same with E5,
Uh,
E6. You're
so
just
you
waiting
don't
for your promotion date.
until you're promoted, you don't put the rank on, is what you're saying. Until you're
Yeah,
promoted
until
via
you're
pay.
officially, your official promotion day
Yeah,
starts.
paid date,
You don't.
basically,
Yeah,
right?
your paid
Yeah.
date. Yeah, you don't get to wear it.
So
So
we do it differently. Like, so when I was selected for 9, right? When I was selected for 9, we go into like a rank based off all the promotions, like seniority, and I was number 2 out of the 4 that got promoted. So
Hmm.
you wear the rank and you have all the responsibilities and you have all of the uh like rights and responsibilities of that rank,
Yeah,
but you don't get paid until that cycle comes through and says, okay, here's your payday. And mine was over a year later.
yeah,
So
yeah. You
you,
won't see that in the army, really.
so with the Air Force, like as soon as you get promoted,
Mhm.
they call it a selectee.
Yeah,
And so
selectee. Yep.
they treat you as the rank. And this is
Yep.
it. Hold on, let me start over. It's different between enlisted and officer. On enlisted, right? Hey, I made E7. I'm now
Yeah.
treated as an E7, and the way that the Air Force does it is they release it, so you get a line number is what it's called,
Yep.
and your line
Officer
number
line
is
numbers rank.
yeah. So your line number
Mhm.
is based on when you get promoted. So say they release in March, they'll start
Yeah.
promoting in April, and then they select a certain amount of numbers that they're going to promote that month in April. And if you don't fit that, then you keep going down the line depending on when your line number is. And when your line number is between say 1 and 100, you get promoted in that specific month.
Yeah, that's so, like mine was the line. It's like a line number. It's seniority is what it is.
It's seniority. Well, the Air Force does it too. Is also what you scored. If you scored like super high,
okay.
Like if you your board score is what they call it, because so senior NCO and above is all boards. You know, you meet a board and you get a bunch of E9s that are grading your shit, and if you make a high enough, say something real quick, Rebel.
I just don't have anything to add to the conversation. So
all right, cool. Thank you.
I'm just sitting here chilling.
I'm trying to get it all. I'm trying to get it all right.
That's crazy. You don't go to a board until senior NCO.
No. Yeah.
It's
E6
go
now.
You go to a board for E5 in the Army.
Well, no, yeah,
well,
it's E7
yours
and
is a
above.
local.
Yeah.
Yours is a local. It's a local board, right? It's not. It's
Yeah,
not a
local
bureau
board.
selected.
Yeah, they show up in Class A's and they do all the things in the Army.
Oh, that's that. Yeah,
You go in
that's
front of
exactly.
people and shit, right?
We have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you get
don't.
your
You have to show up in your
reports.
Class A's and all that stuff. It's not fun.
So
just to make E5.
Yeah, so the Air Force, they test all the way through E6.
I wish it was just a test.
So now you do start getting stratifications at E3, which gives you more points toward your score. So your testing and your strat rating to go
your
for it, you know,
your yearly evaluation.
Yep, and it's only the top 15% in the Air Force that are going to get a stratification.
Yeah,
is how that works. And then once you're E6 and you're going for E7, it's all boards. There is no test, no nothing, but you still get the stratification, so the top 15%. And they call it a promote now and a must promote, is how it goes in the Air Force. Promote now is the top 5%, and the must promote is the top 10%. If you get a promote now, it I think it's like 0.05% that you don't get promoted. You know, it's very, very minimal. So if you get a promote now, you're pretty much getting promoted. Must promote is like I think it's at a like 1.2 of the must promotes that don't get promoted. And the Air Force right now is doing a thing where it's a 5-year stint. They are not, the promotion rates are less than 10%.
Yeah.
So that must promote now is even not, you're not going to get promoted. You know,
do you guys
5% out of it?
Do you guys split the promotions up between like let's see, for you guys it's MOSs, right?
Yeah. Well, ours is AFSC. Army's MOS.
So mine's rate.
Yep.
We call it like your job title, basically. We have a number too, but nobody fucking uses it because it's stupid.
Yeah.
So we just do like what your job is. Like mine's airframes, you know, aviation airframes. So
yeah, well, what's always got me about the Navy is like, oh, I'm an MA2, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, but I know it's like Master at Arms, but you're like a 2 skill level or some shit. Is that what it is?
It's a security. MA2 is an E5 in the Navy. And then MA1 is a E6, and MAC. Anytime you see the C after that, it's usually an E7, or it is an E7.
Okay,
for the most part.
Yeah,
but the number signifies like your senior NCO, like
your ranking,
or your NCO
system.
ranking. So when you hit E4, you get a number after your job title. So like it's, you know, for E4 it'd be like MA3 basically.
Yeah. So and it's commensurate
3,
with
2,
your rank.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For mine changed. Go ahead.
Yeah, ours is just the number. You go by the MOS number. So
yeah,
you walk up to somebody and they ask me what my MOS was. I'll say I was a 19 Delta. And if they want to get specific, I would have been a 19 Delta 20.
Yeah.
because I was an
Break.
E5.
Okay.
So the number on
So-
y'all's is rank
Is the rank.
commensurate. Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
See,
So
I don't
19
have.
Delta 10 is E1 through E4. 19 Delta 20 is E5. 30 E6. 40 E7. And then after E8, it goes to 19 Zulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mine
'Cause-
splits up now, or it's combined now. When I got to E8, it combined two different jobs, and to basically between, or I'm sorry, E9,
Yeah.
between aircraft structures and hydraulics, and then engines. And now they just say aircraft maintenance men is what I'm called.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's why once you make E8, it goes to 19 Zulu because
Yeah, it
you
encompasses
got
more
nine.
shit.
Yeah, you got 19 Delta is the scouts, the
Mm-hmm.
cavalry, recon, and then you got 19 Kilo is tankers, the guys in the tanks and stuff. So once you become an E8
Yeah.
and E9, you become a 19 Zulu, and you could either be in charge of a tank, platoon or a scout platoon.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't matter, or troop or company is what it would be.
Yeah.
Because you'd be an E8, you'd be a first sergeant or a master sergeant in either a tank company or a
Mhm.
scout
Yeah.
group.
I want to wrap all of this back into one, and then we move on because we were talking about frocking earlier.
For
Yeah,
a moment.
But-
it's,
yeah,
what the,
we don't do that.
it's well, but what the Air Force does on the officer side, because Ashley actually ran into this, and so basically is so the officers in the Air Force, they're done by year group. So what year you
Mhm.
graduated OTS, and I think Navy is the same way, right?
Year groups, yes.
Yeah. So is the Army that same way, AG?
For what?
They promote based on
Officers.
year group when they graduated OTS.
Officers.
Yeah,
Oh,
on the
officers.
agree,
Yeah,
Gary.
for the automatic promotions, yeah, it goes by time
That's because
in grade or
officers are
time.
Congress. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it goes by time after commission. So once they're commissioned, you'll go from a O1 to a O2 after
It's automatic.
Well,
Yeah.
but not
a year.
not basically time, but like, so say you had somebody that graduated OTS, OCS, and I don't know what the Navy calls it.
It's OCS.
Okay, so it say they graduated in 2000, right? Yes, it goes
Mhm.
off of time. So 2 years they're gonna be a fucking that 2 years are gonna be a butter bar, right? They're gonna be a first lieutenant, and then at 4 years they're gonna hit captain and whatever the fuck the Navy calls it. You
It's
know,
lieutenant.
lieutenant. Yep. So wait, it's 3 years for the Army. Oh well,
For
fuck the Army.
captain?
Fuck the Army.
3 years.
No, the Air Force is captain at 4 years, but and basically you're gonna make major, right? You're gonna make 04, so long as you don't
Almost,
do anything fucking stupid. But
That's when their record is
That's when
reviewed by a
you're
board.
yeah.
When they go
yes,
from
That's
03 to 4.
that's when it becomes congressional.
yep. But
Beyond
that's the
below
thing.
that, it's all automatic. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like in that 2000, all right, so that officer graduates in 2000. Okay, in 2002, they are
Mhm.
going to promote to first lieutenant all at the same time. In 2004, they're going to promote to captain all at the same time.
Mhm.
Okay, so and then that's where you can get below the zone, above the zone, whatever the
Yeah.
hell they call it in each branch.
Hmm?
And you could do because it's 6 years for the Air Force for major.
Yeah.
But now frocking. Damn, wow. So but the Air Force they call it frocking. So it's like, oh hey, there is a position that we want you to fill, but it requires a different rank than what you
Yeah.
are. One grade higher than what
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
So they will give you that rank, but you will not get paid for that rank until you meet your group. And
Okay.
Ashley had that. She had a light colonel, and she had a general, a 1-star,
Mhm.
a brigadier general at the same base that were both frocked to be able to take that position, which
Yeah.
basically means like you're at that performance level that we're
Yeah.
going to give it to you because we want you in the specific position, but we
Yep.
have to give you the rank commensurate, but you're not going to get paid for it.
Yeah, we have
And
that in
that's
the Navy. It's
frocking.
called
Yeah.
we call
That,
it promote to position in the Navy.
that ain't
Yeah,
happening
so-
in the Army.
Yeah, that's what they call frocking in the Air
That's
Force.
just not happening in the Army at all.
I mean, I
You'll-
don't think
you'll
the Army
say-
or Marines do that.
Say you know
No.
you are like that, like an officer. You're not going to be promoted. Period. You're just going to be doing that job until they get somebody of that,
Yeah.
that rank
Yeah.
to fill the position, or you eventually promote. But
Yeah.
you're not going to get promoted. You're still going to
Yeah.
be a first lieutenant doing a captain's job, or a captain doing a major's job. You're not getting
Mhm.
promoted.
Yeah.
You're still going to be a captain.
But the thing is, when they do that, it definitely helps them promote, and sometimes.
Oh,
more, so-
absolutely.
yeah,
It's
as
going to
soon-
look good on their portfolio when
Yeah.
you're going from 03 to 04. It's going to look
Mhm.
amazing.
Hey,
Be like, oh, he's been in
You're already doing the
this
job.
captain 03 has been
Yeah.
acting as the squadron XO for the past year.
Yeah.
It's going to look
Looks
good for you.
amazing.
that's what's crazy. Oh my god, this job I'm in. But I
That's-
hate it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
going to
that's-
look amazing on your OER. It's going to
Yeah,
be.
I
great.
get it. So most all of y'all know, unless you're new to the podcast, I have been where I'm currently stationed. This is my second time,
Mm.
and I've known a lot of people, and where I'm at now, they all, I don't know what it is about this place, but everybody just stays here when they retire. I'm not going to. I might, and I've already given myself 5 years, and if I haven't, I'm moving. Fuck it, I'm out. See you later. After I retire, I've already been offered so many jobs here, and that's why it's like, okay, stability, why not? But I got back here in 2021, and everybody looks at me and they're like, "Why are you not an E7 right now?" I'm like, "I don't know. You tell me." I operate off of a mindset that my people mean more to me than what leadership does. Because leadership sometimes does say some dumb shit, and that's why I say I worry about the people. Because I'd rather, take care of them and fight for them because they're going to be more productive for me, which in turn equals they're more productive for the leadership. So I don't give them all of the stuff. So in turn, I've made a lot of enemies and a lot of enemies. And with that promotion system that we talked about with stratifications, right now, that's what we got to do to make E7. And so that's why I've been passed over, because I care more about the people. I'm old school. I'm not like, oh, hey, I'm right here in front of your face. I'm just going to sit here and do the things to get promoted. Not going to do
You don't
that.
have to do that.
In the Air Force,
Yeah.
so I am a family first. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
So now I'm going to give 20
Right.
years at the end of the day. When I hang up that uniform, who's there for me?
Well, your family, of course.
I'm not going to do shit on my time off. I don't believe in it. So the Air Force has been big on like volunteering. Doing shit outside of the duty day. And then, oh, by the way, also during the duty day. I was raised, I am mission first. Right? And being a cop, everybody looks at you and they're like, "Oh, hey, what is your mission?" That jet that's fucking flying around right now, that's my mission. To make sure that jet flies. Because I protected the base to be able to let all the maintainers and all those guys to be able to get that jet in the air. I'm mission minded. But when I go home, it's family time. I'm not going to take away from mission or my family to do something else. I'm not going to do something like that because I've seen it throughout my career where people will just, oh, hey, I got this volunteer opportunity so I can do this thing and I'm going to get promoted. No, fuck you.
They're imbalanced, man. That's what it is. You can do that stuff and maintain a balance.
You can't. I don't even call it a balance. I don't like work-life balance. That that phrase to me irks my nerves. I like harmony.
Well,
I like a
it
work-life
depends.
harmony.
It depends on how you look at it. So I'll give you an example. Uh, you can do things that will benefit your family. So you got to do like a cost benefit analysis on whatever it is you're doing. So, like, I'm not going to spend a bunch of evenings late into the day working on it and doing extracurricular shit. If it's not going to do anything for my family. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I'm going to limit that stuff, right? I'm going to limit that stuff to what I think is beneficial and what I think is not going to, I want to say, put a damper on family time, family life, right? So you can do those things in a balance and still move around, still move up. You just have to like figure out where that is. And some people are way off. Some people are like, they spend all this time at work, they spend all this time doing extracurriculars and volunteering and doing all this crap. Well, I don't know why the Air Force is the way that it is. The Navy gives you some points for volunteering and shit, but like it does not weigh nearly as much as mission and doing your job and being the best at your job and being a technical expert. Nowhere near as many points. Does it help you? Sure, a little bit. That's why the way I looked at it was like, okay, if it helps me a little bit, I'll do a little bit. So I just started doing some college courses here and there. Yeah, I did. I got my degree, but I didn't do it. I wasn't taking a full boat of classes like some people do. I didn't give a fuck. I'm going to spend 15 hours a week doing college on a class, maybe 15 hours a week. Because I think that in the end, that could benefit me and my family when I'm all done with this shit.
Yeah.
So my extracurricular time, there are times when I got to spend a little bit of extra time, especially now, and it's mostly involuntary, but it comes with part of the job. But like before coming up, I balanced that shit out, man. I figured out did the benefit outweigh the cost, and if it didn't, I didn't fucking do it.
Well,
You know?
that's why I like it, and that's where I think the Navy and the Air Force and hell even the Army differ. And
Yeah.
the I I like the word harmony. Because if my relationship with my family is in a better spot, then yeah, I will do that little bit to help me.
Mhm.
But the thing about it is the Air Force, and now caveat real quick, we
Mhm.
just swapped over to a new rating system. So we went from the enlisted performance report to the enlisted performance board something. It's called the EPB against the EPR. I haven't even fully done it. I don't have troops. I'm not worried about it right now. But they used to focus so hard on volunteering and community involvement and bettering yourself. Like that's that the Air Force, like that's what they're involved in, because I'd be like, why am I not being put up for these strat ratings? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you're not volunteering and you're not going to school. And I'm like, well, I am more educated than 98% of the people that I'm up against in my rank. So how is that differentiating? And they're like, oh, well, you're not actively in school. And I'm like, but
Yeah,
I have 2 degrees. And they're like, oh, well, you don't go out and you don't volunteer for this. You're not a part of this professional organization. You're not a part of. And I'm like, why does that matter? What matters to me is air power, generating aircraft to go do a mission to put bombs on target.
Nothing
That's my
extra.
mission.
Yeah, nothing extracurricular should ever matter when it comes to your job, ever.
That
Period.
was the Air Force way. We'll see how it goes
Yeah.
this year because this is the first year for that new rating system. And I just wrote my report, and I think it's gonna show that a lot of people are full of shit. And that's what I'm hoping. All of
Yep,
these
it
like
weeds out
go-getters.
weeds them out.
After that
So
entire
that's something
conversation. Go
what
ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just say that was something that I look at in my position because I report on a lot of people, right? I report on E8 and below. So so here's my brief to them, okay? Because I know what boards are looking for. I know for the people who have to go to a board for selection what they're looking for, right? Because and I'm the guy that does that shit, right? So when I look at reports or I look at evaluations or whatever you want to call them, your yearly review, and I go in and I tell all of my troops, I say, these are the main things that I want to see, right? Leadership is at the very top. Technical expertise. How well do you know your job? Are you the subject matter expert in your job? Are you the person that everyone can go to get answers? Are you the best at your job? And that's the next performance thing, right? So leadership, technical expertise, performance. At the very bottom, very, very bottom, and it's in order of importance, right? At the very, very bottom is uh the extracurricular shit. Education and volunteering, right? Volunteering which impact in the community type volunteering, not fucking I picked up dog shit on the side of the road for 3 days. You know what I mean? Like that's not what I'm looking for. It's something that brings good credit on whatever service in the community, in the local community, right? But even that holds so little weight that there's a fucking medal for that. You know what I mean? That doesn't equal a promotion. And I tell people all the time, if you hold that shit and you want to do it, cool, good on you. I'm glad that you do. I want you to get out in the community. I want you to set a good example of the services out in the local communities because we need more of that. We need people to understand that we're here for our communities and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a medal for that shit. It's called a military volunteer service medal.
Facts.
And
Yep.
you can get that, and it should have, the bearing that it has on your yearly report is very low. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I want to see your leadership, I want to see your technical expertise, and I want to see your professionalism. I want to see how you manage programs that you run. That's what I want to see. All the things that impact the mission and all the things that make the unit better.
Yep.
The impact that you have here, that's the most important shit. So when we
Sustained
write
superior
these,
performance.
exactly, when we write these things, that's when I want to see. On the very, very bottom, there's a tiny little block you can put volunteered for 8 hours. Cool. Like, I don't fucking, I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're going to school, but a tech school, the military offer it weighs just as much to me as going to college. So, you know, and those things don't have a lot of weight. So,
Rebel, I want to hear your take on it, but I want
No,
one
no,
little thing.
mine
I
is
want to say one
yeah, go
little
ahead.
thing. So that's the thing about the Air Force. So, Skep, give me your opinion on this.
yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to give you the difference between Air Force, Navy, and AG. I want you to weigh in on this too. So when you have somebody that does 150 to 200 hours of volunteer shit per year, okay, that's a lot of hours in the military.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
like what do you think the percentage of not doing their job is compared to actually going out there and doing volunteer stuff is? Like
Well,
during
here's
the
the
duty day
thing.
and outside.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you the
Here's
Air Force average after I
here's
hear
what
y'all.
I'll tell you. Um, volunteer work, unless it is command authorized. That means the whole command's going to do something together.
Which is like 2 hours.
Yeah, it might be 2 hours on a Friday. Like we get, hey, captain says we can get out early, but we all got to go, build food baskets for the local community or something like that. Cool, let's go do it. We do that shit. But that's because we have the time to do it. But outside, like, I don't. That's their personal time.
But if they're at,
They want to spend all that time doing that, then that's on them.
Yeah, but if they go up and they're like, hey, I've got this volunteer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go do it while they're at work?
Unless you ask for a day of liberty, as we call it in the Navy.
Liberty or leave?
But it's, leave or liberty. But we call it liberty if you're just asking for a day off for something. Which may or may not be granted.
That's not a congressly mandated day off.
No, you have to request it. It's like a bonus day off.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if they show up and they're like, hey, I need this liberty, but they do it for about 150 hours during a year.
I ain't approving that shit.
Yeah,
I'll approve somebody a day off if they've been working their ass off and they deserve it. Then I'll give them an extra day off. But I need to see some substantiated evidence that they've been kicking ass. Like, I need their E7 or E8 to come to me and say, this fucking dude's been crushing shit at work. And then I will entertain pushing, an extra day off to do whatever they want to do with it. Whether I don't care if it's volunteering or not, but you
it ain't
gotta be
happening
working
at all.
your ass off.
Yeah, it's not happening at all in the Army, combat arms. You're not getting a day off. Period. Plain and simple.
Well, and
no matter what, unless you're having surgery or you are forced home by a doctor or something like that, you're not getting a day off ever.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that is one of my stinks with the Air Force, because I've seen it so much, is because they push that stuff so much.
Yeah,
man. That's what you got to do to be able to get promoted. That's not me at all.
That's twisted, in my opinion. That's twisted.
If you're volunteering or doing anything in the Army, you're doing it on the weekend on your day off.
Yes.
It's not happening during the week ever.
Yep.
Yeah. For us, like, unless it's command sponsored type shit,
yeah,
it ain't happening.
Well, there's a difference too, because like we don't really have a lot of volunteer stuff. When I was in, it was more, hey, we're doing this, you will be there.
Voluntold.
Okay.
Yeah, you're voluntold. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Rebel.
I have. Yeah.
Rebel. You said something earlier about like, hey, after hearing all this, unleash.
That whole conversation. All I could think about was like the differences between, because y'all kept talking about the difference between all the armed forces. My mind went directly to like TV. Navy has NCIS. Air Force has Stargate. Army has MASH. I think Force. China Beach. No. That they were Air Force.
They were Air Force.
Stargate was Air Force.
Now the Space Force. I don't associate with them.
No, that's it was Air Force. There was no Space Force when SG-1 was around. Well, anyway,
I'm about to.
Does Marines have a TV show?
JAG.
Yeah.
Well, JAG. That's Marines.
Navy. It was Navy and Marines.
Marines. Yeah.
Marines. Because she
was
a Marine. She wasn't Navy.
Yep.
Yeah.
In JAG.
I met her a few times. Fun fact, I was in JAG a couple times.
I wonder why.
They used to come to the base, man. You go like, hey, we need extras. I'm like, sweet, I'll do it.
Let's go. Being a TV show, cool.
Yeah, they'd feed us and they'd pay us like $80.
So
broke ass fucking eat nothing. $80
right?
is $80.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I want to get an outsider's perspective on this. Like, after all of that, Rebel, what is your conclusionary take on what all we were just talking about?
I'm glad I didn't enlist.
You know what the take
I
is?
want that
The
stretch.
Air
Can we
Force
get some
is
more out of that?
bougie and only cares about stupid shit. The Navy does things right, and the Army fucking hates you. That's the take.
You know what? That is probably the best take ever. I think that is great.
That's the
honestly.
take.
After all that,
The
okay,
Air
yeah,
Force is bougie and only cares about stupid shit.
exactly.
Army
All
fucking
the
hates you because they
stereotypes.
just don't care. And the Navy does things right. It's
Yeah, unless
kind of
you're on
how
a
it
ship,
is.
then you're fucked.
Then you're fucked. Yeah.
3 months at sea, no land. Let's do it. Like, fuck that, dude.
Yeah. You mean I gotta sleep in this hot rack? Fuck.
Oh
All right,
god.
so did y'all see
The
what?
guy just shit in it.
Yeah, but Jay is going through a
Scoop it
similar
onto the
thing though.
floor.
Yeah. Ugh.
Did y'all see what Jay
If
was
it
Huh?
would
thinking
have
though?
been listed though, it would have been
Yeah.
Army.
Yeah, that's why I wrote back. I was like, yeah, that's not happening. That's a prime example of what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh, elementary uses S and E, satisfactory and
Satisfactory
excellent.
is
Is that
For
the
Yeah,
next
but
one?
did you?
electives,
Yeah,
for
that's-
Yeah, but,
electives only.
Oh.
yeah, but he said our music teacher tells us to give S grades to the kids unless they signed up for choir. The choir kids get E grades.
What's the
and
difference?
choir's an extracurricular activity.
Yeah, so E is excellent, S is satisfactory. So basically, what he's saying
I'm not
is,
doing that.
yeah, no,
Tell your
fuck
music
you.
teacher to fuck off.
Yeah,
Facts.
he could.
That's like the science teacher who's also the football coach.
Is that even legal?
Fucking
Like-
hooking you up
Like
because you're
you
on the
can
Well,
only get a
no,
good
you
grade
can't-
if you sign up for this extra thing.
She's a
No,
tool.
but
I mean,
he's trying to use it as a tool
Yeah.
to push kids to be in choir.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
trying. It's a manipulation technique, is all it
It-
is.
absolutely a manipulation technique.
That's like when I was in high school. Like our teachers were our coaches on the sports teams. You know, it was a small
Mhm.
school,
Oh, yeah.
but like my science teacher was a football coach. He was the head football coach. Like if you
Mhm.
didn't, if you played on the team, like you got, let me just say, you got pretty good grades. You know, if you fucking
And
Mhm.
way
stopped
more
playing,
leniency.
like you're getting a C at best.
Well, but I mean,
Yep.
but if you look at it, how we can relate that back in the military, right? It's like, you know, what I was saying, Air Force wise, fuck the Navy there or in the Army, but like it in my situation specifically, it's like
That's a personal statement.
it is, but I love all of you. And like
Opinion.
honestly,
Opinion only.
I have deployed with every single one of you guys, and I'd rather deploy with you guys. But I never said that. But that's the thing. Like, it's like, oh, hey, go out and do all this shit and not do your primary job, which is the core classes that are supposed to be taught in our school system to get a good grade. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it literally copies over from the military to the civilian world.
That's like
And it's
saying,
horrible.
hey, I want the people who are in history or social studies type classes to get an A as long as they're on the debate team or some shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Fuck that, man. That's extracurricular shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
you get a mandatory B for everybody. That's the highest they can
Yeah.
go. Unless they're on the debate team, then you can get an A. That
Yeah.
don't even sound like legal
But,
for you to do that to kids.
All of my veteran teachers when I was in high school, when I was in I was a terrible student, by the way. Ashley is the
Surprise.
Ashley was the only reason I graduated high school. I still made it in the Air Force though. So there's that. I was somewhat smart. But
Well, when you only
Every-
need a 31 for your job.
that's another
ASVAB
debate.
31.
Remind me of that later because we will
But
go in,
it's
we will go down
it's
that
like the
rabbit
same
hole.
as mine,
Yeah, but
and they
yours is
lowered the armies
I was about to say
now
the
because
Army's
they're
at-
fucking hurting for people.
Yeah, the
Can you
Army's
spell
only
your
at
name?
10.
Yeah,
Yes.
No,
All
the
right, you're in.
Army the
they're
Army
hurting
is
so
only at 10.
bad. Yeah, they're hurting so bad for people. They had to lower the ASVAB to try to get people to join because
Oh,
they're
it-
just not getting anybody.
All right.
Nobody
all right.
wants to join the
What'd you
army.
score in your ASVAB?
Skip. Hold on
I don't
before we
even
do
remember.
this.
It was like
Can
a
I
70.
can I
Nah,
can
I
I
was
give
in the
you a little
70s.
insight?
What?
The Navy dropped theirs too, and it's as bad
They
as
did.
the Army's.
It's a
Oh, I'm
10
sure.
or 11. 11, I think.
It's
Yeah,
an
you
11.
can
The
come in and
Army
be
is
like
at
11.
Cook
10,
or something.
and
Yeah.
the Navy is at 11.
But
That's
they're just
so
hurting. You got to
bad.
think too, though. It's the two largest militaries in the world, pretty much,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
have the most people, and they have to staff the most people, and nobody's
Mhm.
joining the military these days.
I
Oh,
Nobody.
it's fucking horrible. It's down so bad
Yeah,
right now.
it's
yeah, but
the recruitment's down so bad that they're hurting so bad for people. They had to lower the scores to try to get people just to join.
but the thing about it
So
is good.
I was just gonna say, so you literally could walk in and like be like, oh yeah, fuck. I don't want to take the you could literally just probably mark bubbles and not even pay attention to the questions and still get a fucking 10.
Just Christmas
Well,
tree that
Just
shit, dude.
fucking chart, yeah.
I'm gonna
Charlie out.
I'm
Just
gonna
mark
one
some
800
fucking
call
bubbles.
ATT. I'm just gonna dial
Charlie
Yeah.
down the
out.
center.
Yeah.
I'm
When in
laughing at
doubt.
what Jay said. He
When in
scored
doubt,
Navy.
Charlie out.
He scored Navy.
He must
When
have
I-
bent
Yeah.
over and picked up his pencil. That's why.
When I first signed up, my ASVAB, they were trying to get me to join the nuke program, nuclear fucking field. I was like, you're fucking out of your mind. I want to bend metal.
So
That's what I want to do.
I personally
you.
scored it. I personally scored an 85 on the ASVAB, like all
So
around.
Nicole said when my son just took his ASVAB, it's actually 24 for the army, the lowest score. You
24.
have to get a 24, which is still
You could Christmas tree that
like,
shit, dude.
yeah, so low,
Yeah, but 20.
insanely low.
So
You could draw mango with your fucking bubbles and pass.
yeah, but that's 20. Yeah, but that 24 though is
Navy?
probably just so you can get into something.
Oh, so Nicole just told me the lowest one they told him was the Navy, and it was a 6.
That's not right.
So no,
It
it's
can't
not.
be right.
So right now DB.
I don't even think you could score lower than
So,
like a 10.
so DB right now is a recruiter. Like real life right now in the
He's
moment.
looking it up.
Yeah, he is a recruiter. He knows all of the things. And that's what he was saying, that Army and Navy are the same.
All right.
Now, what a lot
42.
of people don't realize is the lowest scoring will qualify you for a certain job. So in the Army, you can score said 10, but the only thing you're gonna get is 11 Bravo, which is what, AG?
Infantry.
That's all infantry. So you're just gonna be a fucking dumbass carrying a gun, kicking down doors, right?
That's probably
Like, that's all
what I
you're gonna
would
be
have
doing.
been, and
But that's all you're doing. So, but what a lot of people don't understand is the ADVAB is 4 different categories, right? So it's an aptitude test. And somebody look this up, please, because I know there's mechanical, administration. What are the other 2? Those are the big ones. But there's,
I don't fucking know.
but yeah, there's 4 different categories to score on, and you get a score on every single thing because they're gonna give you 4 different tests in the one ASVAB test and that aptitude. You know, and that's where I scored very highly, was on the mechanical, administrative, and then there was another one that I scored almost 100% on. I forget what.
They look at your AFQ.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or AQFT score. Your big score, not your
Yeah, they look at the overall
line score.
AFQT.
the average, and that's mine.
And it's graded on a curve too, just FYI.
It is
Graded
100%.
based on whatever year you took it. Graded on.
Well, yeah, because they use the overall societal norm. And so what they do is they take the overall. So in different states,
the highest score gets 100, and they don't have to get all the questions right.
Exactly.
100.
You know, so like
a curve.
So me being in Louisiana, right? I am in the my family is in the bottom 3% Okay, the bottom 3 of, oh, you're educated. Whereas you look at, some place like fucking California, theirs is higher, which I don't agree with, but whatever. And so there is that curve there on how the overall 50 states are educated based on state testing. So they take the state testing, right? And they factor that in because it's like, oh, well, okay, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi, there's their state testing. This is what
Yeah.
the average kid scored based on that.
Yeah.
Well, and then
Yeah,
you
in
take
your
a
state.
highly intellectual state, which I don't even know what the number 1 state is, compared to, those 3 states is like, way the fuck up here. You can't even see where my states are. And that's just because of the educational system.
Yeah.
So there is a
Well,
curve, 100%.
during state testing, I knew that it didn't go towards my grade in high school, so I would take that Scantron and I would go A, B, C, D, E, D, C, B, A, B, C, D, E.
So your
I
shit
would
was
just
just like,
stare step that
Interesting.
shit. Yeah, just stare step that shit the whole way down because it didn't fucking matter. Like I was taking a test for what? It didn't benefit me at all.
Jay, yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. Some of them tests are just like they're not. I don't know. They're not required for you to graduate high school. Clearly.
Yeah. And by the time I got like junior and senior year, they caught on to me. So I was like put into a room with a bunch of other bad kids that did bad on tests, and we were exempt from taking the state tests.
well, and so the thing about the ASVAB is it is written on a 9th grade level on average.
Jay, here's what I'll tell you when someone says that you're above and beyond or you're too qualified for the job. That's a nice way of them telling you that fuck off and they don't want your kind.
Exactly. 100%.
It has nothing to do with anything else. That's them saying we don't want you.
It's saying we don't want to pay you that much money. That's what it's saying.
Yeah, that's that too.
No, he's saying that he can teach anywhere because his training is so extensive that it holds anywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I do.
I mean, it's typical California. Everybody has differing opinions about California, but they do.
Schools, yeah, there's some schools in California that I like how they set them up. Like they're high schools, but they're broken into like almost like a vocational school. There's like science. There's like
a STEM.
There's mathematics. Yeah, it's broken up that way so kids can like kind of be in whatever portion of that school they want to be in to help them when they go on to the next school level, which I think that's pretty smart actually. And I haven't seen that anywhere but California in the high school level. At least in San Diego, there's there.
That's what they're doing with their homeschooling.
Yeah.
Is like a focused on a certain, their interests.
Yeah. You have to take the state test. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna take a refill break just because my wife asked me, but I will be out. Okay. Love you guys.
I was like thinking when I was in the end of my second enlistment, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna join the Air Force. I don't want to be in the Navy anymore."
Be glad you didn't.
So I talked to a recruiter, and I was like, "What kind of job can I do? Here's what I can do," and they're like, "What do you mean you're not?" Because I told them I'm airframes and hydraulics. I do tires, hydraulics, structures, flight controls, all the shit. And they're like, yeah, well, we don't have any openings in flight controls. I'm like, okay, well, what about the rest of them? Because they were all separated jobs. Like they all there's my example would be like, this is the guy that fucking changes the tire. Well, there's another fucking guy that rolls the tire out to the plane. That's his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas where I'm at, like, I gotta get the tire, I gotta fucking do the paperwork, I gotta take it out of the plane, gotta bring the old, all the shit.
Yeah, they don't have just like an all around like aircraft mechanic.
No, there's not that type of
Yeah.
thing, and they're split up even further. You know, where I'm at, they split my job up into two different things, and one is ejection seats, and one is structures, hydraulics, and flight controls, and all the other shit. And the other one
Yeah.
is just ejection seats, and that's because they have to be certified to work on them. But
In the Air Force, you walk up, ask them what their job is. Like, oh, I get the 10 mil socket.
yeah,
I,
I
I
open the
changed
drawers on the toolbox.
I
I
changed
open the
spark plug on cylinder
yeah,
1.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's funny to me because I've gone on different detachments to Air Force bases, and man, I'll tell you what, like there is a job that they do that encompasses a lot of things, and it's called a crew chief. They're like
yeah. Crew
in
chief.
charge of their plane, a plane. so
Mhm.
so like, wait a minute. So I was like, oh, so that's like our plane captain in the Navy. We call it a plane captain, and they can be in charge of any of the planes, all the planes, not a specific one, but any of them. I could tell the plane
Yeah,
captain to go work on this plane, that plane, and that plane, and they'll do all of them. They have to, they have to inspect it and fix it and do all this shit.
yeah.
Slightly different, but similar. So,
Have you seen that
but anyway,
guy?
I called the Air Force
That's
and I was like,
funny.
hey, I want to join the Air Force, and they're like, well, you can be EOD. I was like, no, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Could be EOD. Get out of here.
No. I like my
I told
fingers.
you about my fucking run in with Air Force EOD. Freaking was something special.
I love the Navy EOD guys, man. They're fun. Like, hey, I'm looking to get a sight for my fucking AR, and then they pull out a little fucking brown book, and they're like, "What's your barrel length and what's the turn on it?" I'm like 1.7, 16 bro. Oh, this is the best sight.
It's like
I'm
getting a
like,
part from
sweet,
Yeah.
thanks,
O'Reilly's.
bro. Yeah, yeah, thanks, bro.
Year model,
Appreciate it.
make and model.
Yeah. Is it
What
chrome
color
No.
is it?
lined or is it, I'm like, nah, bro. It's just that's what they
Yeah. Do
had
you
like
want?
pulled out their little book of fucking cheat sheet.
Have you seen
Yeah.
that
You
guy that
want
does
blue? You want desert tan?
Yeah.
the short form
Ah,
content
man.
that does all the different branches of the military, like the
Yeah,
stereotypes of them? And
I've
for the
seen it.
Space
Yeah.
Force, he's like potato.
Oh, that
I've
dude
seen
is
that.
hilarious.
I love that guy, man.
Has the little hands on his
Oh,
fingers.
Yes.
I've seen that too.
I mean, he has the
Oh,
stereotypes down. I have to say, like that is like public perception of all of them.
mhm.
Because he's Army.
He is.
Anyway, we were just talking about how the Air Force has a job for everything. Because I tried to join the Air Force after my second enlistment because I was like, I don't want to I don't want to be in the Navy because I want to go to ship and be out to sea for fucking 9 to 11 months.
That's the only reason I
So,
didn't join the Navy.
so when I called them, they told me I could be EOD. I was like, well, this is what I do. It's like I work on aircraft. I do hydraulic structures, flight controls, anything on the aircraft other than the seats. And they're like, oh, what? Like, yeah, anything else. Like, well, we don't have any openings there. They tell me that it was broken down further than like that. So basically, we were joking and saying, yeah, there's a guy that wheels the tire out, and then there's a job for a guy who actually changes the tire. Too many fucking. I'm the guy that opens the drawer on the toolbox, gets the fucking the
I'm the
3/8
guy that
socket.
So
I
I'm
squirt
not.
the mojo on your hand.
I'm not in that career field, but I think that is right. I
It
think
is
you're
right,
100% right.
It is right because I've got debts on different Air Force bases, and they're like,
Oh, dude.
"Hold on, let me call the guy that handles the fucking bearings." Well, you saw the guy that does the tires and the fucking cables and all the other shit. Like, no, he just does bearings all day. The fuck? Yeah, it was broken. So they basically tell me, they're like, you're overqualified. You could just be EOD. I'm like, nah, click.
Yeah, I'm good on that. That's not happening.
You would think though,
No, thank
somebody
you.
that has, that much experience in aviation, that the Air Force would be like, yeah, come on, you're
Well,
basically already one of us.
it depends on what's open too. I mean, like the people who appreciate that shit is like Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, Raytheon, fucking
Yeah.
all those places.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, we'll pay you fucking $175,000 a year here.
100%.
I can't. I got to retire and get my pension first.
Bro, could you imagine if you retire from both places? Like you go to Boeing and then retire
Yeah.
from them too? Holy shit.
I don't know if they do a pension or is it just like it's a 401k basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
It probably depends
I
on
don't something like Boeing is like
I don't think they pay you a pension like the
huge.
military.
it
No,
depends
everything.
on the company, and it depends on if it's like unionized or not.
Let's see.
Mhm.
90% of
Google it.
companies are 401k.
Yeah, they do 401k, man, most of them.
Mhm.
Like
Not mine.
GS employees can get a government retirement pension, but
I get a pension,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
but you
because it's
gotta do.
union.
You're a GS employee where you're at?
Yep.
No,
Oh wait, you're not. You're a
no, we're a
contractor.
civilian contractor. Yep,
Oh,
I'm a contractor through a government contracted company, but we're union, so we get a
Oh, so
pension.
you pay into a pension fund basically.
Yeah.
Like
so
Union Pacific does that too. After 30
so
years, you can collect a pension.
it's basically a 401k to get a pension
Yeah. Well,
because
it
you
is,
have
but
to pay
there's
into it.
yeah,
It
it's
is.
think of it like socialist program. It's a socialist program basically is what it is.
It
It's
is
like
a
Social
401k.
Security.
Yeah.
You pay into Social Security and eventually you'll get it. And a socialist program basically is what it is.
Because I mean, what you're eligible to draw at what 65?
You said
For
socialist program. I heard commie program.
socialist.
Socialist.
They only work in a capitalist society.
Yeah, I'll be able to retire at 60.
Yeah. But that's when
I
you
feel
could
like
start drawing your pension.
Unless we finally go to we're trying to get it's called a peer 85 plan or whatever it is, and then you go by how many years you worked for the company, and if it equals 85, then you can retire.
Mm.
So it's somewhat like the military, based on like, oh, you get 50% at 20. Then it goes up 5% every year after that, every 2 years after that, or something.
Yeah, it's
Something.
2.5% per year after 20.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let's
When
say
I'm
you
done,
know
I'll
that
be at
because you're over
70.
20.
Yeah, when I hit 28, I'll be at 70% of my base pay. So
We'll
it's
see. And
good.
they're trying to get me promoted right now, so I have a decision to make.
I mean, promotion to your high 3 and then you can call it a day if you want, man.
Yep.
I will not do my high 3. Based on
Your
where I'm
high
at
3
now,
is
I won't.
your high 3 is just in grade. That way you
I
can
know.
collect the maximum amount of
I won't make
retirement.
it. I won't make it.
You could go to 22.
If I hit 22, if I go to 22, I will still not make high 3.
How?
If I get E7.
How?
Because my promotion results will not come out till March.
Yeah. You're what, 17 in?
18.
18.
18 and a half.
You'd be right there.
But it still won't qualify for high 3 because I've already told him, I was like, look, y'all are putting me in for this promotion.
High 3
a
is
lot of
not-
things have to happen, right? For me to stay in, a lot of things have to happen. I will
high
not
3.
I will not leave my job currently. I'm not going to. And it's a 3-year job. I started it in July.
High 3 is just your average and your pay within the last 3 years.
Yes,
it doesn't mean.
But to guarantee me E7 retirement pay, I've got to do it for 3 years in grade to get the high 3.
Nah, it's different, dude.
I thought it was 2
To
years in grade.
retire as an E7, you have to be 2 years in that grade.
Not to
But to
retire
get high,
as, but to get the money for it.
no, that's wrong. It's you have to be paid for 2 years in the military as enlisted to retire as that rank, and then your average your last 3 years. That's what high 3 is. Your last 3 years of pay, they take that information. That's your high 3.
So I am retiring. Well, maybe retiring. 1 August 2025.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's say you promote, right?
But it goes off a on date. I will not.
It'll take.
I will
Yeah, go
not
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So the results come out in March next year, which is 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will not promote until October or November of 2024.
Yeah.
I retire 1 August of 2025. I do not
So
meet
you could
the
you can submit a waiver for that 1 year to retire you as an E7, and they will take your pay from your last 3 years, which will be E7
E6.
and then E6, E6. That'll be your high 3. E7, E6, E6. So it's still more.
Yeah, but how much more? Because it
I
ain't
don't know.
much.
I
It's
couldn't
not
tell you.
enough to stay in.
Yeah, I
Like
couldn't tell you.
for me to be able to like do the actual fucking 3 years, it 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 does not equate out for the bullshit for me personally that I have to put up with
Here's, dude,
to
I'm
be
gonna
able to
tell
stay
you,
in.
jumping from E6 to E7 is quite a bit of money.
Yeah, but on the retirement side, it's not that much.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a bit more, man. Think about it for every month for the rest of your life, how much more money that is.
Yeah, but I look at more of disability.
But that's a piece of it, and that maxes.
Yeah, well, but
You
that's
know?
what I'm saying. Like that makes all the difference in the world to me.
Yeah, but disability doesn't really fall in line with that for the VA.
Mm.
It won't
It's a lot easier to
it
get
won't
when the
matter.
longer you're in. There's a lot more time to connect
Yeah.
things to your service the longer
Yeah,
you're in.
your rank and pay and stuff when you retire for the VA does not matter.
No, that is different equation.
Everybody gets the same exact amount per
Mhm.
rating. So, well, unless you're married and have kids, and then you get that little extra. But your
Right.
base rating pay is always the same, no matter what rank you.
Right. It's up to 4K or something like that. Married, right?
Married, like for me, married with 2 kids, I would get like 41 something, 42
At
if I got
100.
100%. At
Yeah.
100%. Right now at 60%, I'm only getting 15 something married with
Yeah.
2 kids.
Damn.
That's how big of a jump it is from like 80, 90 and 100.
Yeah. Dude,
So,
when I went promoted from E6 to 7, my pay jumped up like $700 a month, dude. That's a good jump, man.
It's the pay is huge at
When
that
you're
level.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now I'm working for, so what have I got? 25 years in. I'm working for less than 50% of my pay right now. Because if I could retire, I'd, get over 50% of my pay still. Hooked up, right?
Let's see. 2023 military pay chart.
I'm already looking on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I
our
would.
pay, a military or active duty, your pay is like public information. So is your house allowance.
So
If it's
at
no
tw-
as you live.
at
$83
yeah,
a month is the difference that I would make.
Between 6 and 7.
Yep.
No,
$83.
he's saving for his retirement.
Yeah, in my
What?
retirement.
What's your pay jump?
The pay
$1,000.
jump is
It's
well, it's
$1,000
$800.
at 22.
yeah.
Yeah, $1,000 at 22 years, but
You
at
get
20
20,
years, it's
50%. That's
800.
$500 a month, dude. How do you get $40?
80.
If your pay on active duty goes up $1,000 a month, your base pay, when you retire, you get 50% of that. It's $500 a month.
It's only $6,000 a year. Which, yes, to some
So 500 more a month.
is
It's a lot
great.
to me.
You know,
I
but for
mean,
me,
you know.
but the bullshit that you have to endure for those extra 2 years, it's 2, not 1, 2 years.
2, yeah.
That's the way that I look at it. Like that $83 or 40, you know, 41 and a half, that's not worth it to me.
Where are you getting that 41 and a half at? I don't understand.
Because it's 50%. It's $83 a month
To jump from E6 to E7.
at 22. 83. So what is 83 divided by 2?
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying,
but that's
that
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
sound
Like
right at all.
it is, because I just looked at E6 to E7 at 22.
It's $1,000, man,
Yes, it's $1,000.
per month.
Divide that by 12.
What?
Per month, not year.
It's per month, dude. You get an
$1,000
extra $12,000 a year, so that's $6,000 at 50%.
Divide that by 2.
It's $500 extra a month at 50%.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you would get, an extra $500 a month. If you get 50% of your base pay, so let's say you're at E7 at 20 years, $54.73 is the pay. You would get half of that. If you're an E6 at 20 years, you get
It's $1,000 extra, right?
Yeah, divide it in half, you get that
A month.
Yeah,
per
so
month.
it's $500 a month.
Extra
That's
every month you would get.
That's active duty. What is retirement?
No, that's retirement. That's retirement, man.
dude. It's $500
Active duty would
extra.
be active duty. You would make an extra $1,000
Right.
a month. But as he's talking about retirement, that's an extra $500 a month because you get 50%.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you get an extra $6,000 a year retired.
Yeah, 6,000. That's what I'm saying. But
that's good, man.
But
That's
6,000
a lot.
divided by 12 months.
It's $500
$500 a month.
I'm saying, like, to me, it's not worth it. It's not.
We did the math, deconstructed the math, did the math again, deconstructed it again, and then did it again.
It's not $500 a month. I guarantee you that.
Well, taxes, yeah, but
exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
but
Like,
if you get some disability up to a certain amount, your taxes go away.
if I make $3,700 a month in disability, I don't give a fuck about my retirement because disability is not taxable over 50%, right?
Your disability is not taxed.
Not taxable.
It's
at
not
all.
taxed at all, no matter what amount it is.
Well, in the state of
What
Louisiana,
it does,
nope. In the state of
they
Louisiana,
cannot take it.
In the state taxes, it can count as your income.
Absolutely not. They are not allowed to do that.
That's federally illegal.
That's
No,
federally, yeah,
yeah,
it is.
Not.
Hold on, we need a fact check.
Fact check. I'm gonna start calling you Rebel.
Go ahead.
We're gonna look. No, the answer is fucking no.
Yeah,
Okay.
disability Disability benefits received from VA, such as disability compensation, pension payments, and grants for home modification, are not taxable.
Not even in
Over what
Louisiana.
percentage?
It says exempt
None of
from
it, dude.
Louisiana
is
state
no-
income tax.
Oh,
There
your
is
And that's just
no-
retirement
ordinary.
benefits. Bro, your retirement benefits are fucking exempt from state tax in Louisiana. They can't even tax your retirement pay.
Well, they're taxing
That's
my
nice.
father-in-law right now.
No,
that's not-
your military probably only.
He didn't retire. He only did 5 years.
Yeah, your military
Military
retirement
retirement can't be
will
taxed.
be exempt
The
from
military
Louisiana state tax.
retirement is not taxed. His
correct.
VA
Yeah.
is
Neither
being
the VA.
taxed.
VA
that's
is
not
not
right.
taxable.
at-
Yeah, you
he's
need
at
to look into
40%.
that. You need to look into that because that's against the law.
Yeah.
It says when I googled it, Louisiana, that regular disability is exempt from taxation, state taxes.
Yeah,
I'm just
disability is
saying, I've seen the
exempt.
pay stubs,
Exempt.
so I will
They're
send
fucking
y'all
Yeah,
one.
up, man. They're fucking
you
up
need
then.
yeah, you need to look into that because the state's not allowed to tax his VA.
No.
Well,
Or disability or any of that shit. Like
Yeah.
that.
Now, if it's state disability, that's different. But
no,
your
his is all
VA
military.
disability,
VA.
yeah, they're not allowed to tax that, dude.
Nope.
Somebody link that.
That is zero taxable.
Fed
Nobody.
Vetaffairs.la.gov. Vetaffairs.la.gov. None. Tax exemption. VA too. Tax exempt.
Mhm.
California. I think
I was gonna say,
California would
Jay.
tax your urine. They would
Yeah,
want some of it.
they would tax
Let me get some of that urine.
like, oh, you
Jay,
took a piss, tax him.
I
need
was
10%
gonna
of
say
that.
earlier, you were one of the only Californians that I would want to move to Texas, and would like encourage.
Yeah, just don't move to Austin because that's where the rest
Yes.
of them are at.
Yeah,
That place has changed, man.
it has. It went from fucking keep Austin weird to and a music town to little fucking LA, dude.
It's little LA, dude. And they all think it's fucking great. Like,
Yes, east
you,
of San Antonio, farther
you
east
think
you
it's
can get is
great.
better.
You think it's great because it's the same shit you just left. You feel like you fit in because you do.
Yeah.
Everyone around you is the same.
Yeah. Except for the taxes and the laws are better.
Yeah.
Supposedly Texas is and it might win this. We no more tax for silencers, the for the stamp for silencers, and like it's just you can have
That's a
them.
federal tax, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like they're
$200
taking the federal
tax stamp?
government to court to make it to where tax, as long as you don't take it out of the state, you can have silencers without a tax stamp.
Tax stamp.
Yeah, it's crazy how you have to tax stamp for every fucking one of them, dude. And
Every
it takes
one
like
of them.
6 months. It's stupid.
Mhm.
I
It
mean, we
takes, like-
already have constitutional carry,
Yeah,
open
in
carry.
Wyoming, you can carry in your basically at 16 if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Concealed
I mean, we
carry.
already had castle law, which was business, home, and vehicle you could carry
Here,
in without permit.
here in Washington, you just go in, do your fingerprints, fill out your form, pay $50, and you can conceal carry. It's a shall issue.
Yeah, now we did used to have a CDL, concealed carry license, or CCL, but now it's constitutional carry. You don't have to have a license, don't have to pay no taxes on it, nothing. Just carry, open carry if
Nice.
you want to.
Yeah, I don't see the point in open carrying, honestly.
No,
It
you
ain't the
become
Wild
a
Wild
target.
West.
Yeah, you become a
Yeah.
target when you open carry.
We should save that for the next episode
Alright,
on
we will.
open carry because I have
Mhm.
so many points for that. Like,
We'll save it.
yeah,
I
Write
like
it down
the
on the.
I like
Put
the
it on the
right
blotter.
to be able to if you
Facts.
want to, but I personally wouldn't.
I don't agree. Anyway,
Unless I'm like on my street, like at my house or something on my
yeah,
property, I'll wear on my hip.
let's wrap it up, and then we can talk about this open concealed carry and shit next week.
Oh yeah,
All right.
I have
wrap it up.
so many things.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Cool. You can wrap the YouTube if you want.
You want to go ahead and end it?
Yeah, go ahead and end it.
Wrap it
Okay.
up.
We'll
Hey,
finish up on.
First YouTube live,
Let's go.
Veterans Edition.
It's y'all coming in.
Yeah.
All I want is everybody to hit that thumbs up
Subscribe.
and that subscribe button. That's all we want.
Yeah. I want you to.
So tickle it.
What he said.
We will catch
Yeah.
y'all guys later. Everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed the first one of our live. And everybody
tube.
have an amazing, amazing rest of your week, even though tomorrow's Monday. And I love you.
Yeah. Go ahead and kill the YouTube then.